February 22, 2026. Deep in the mountains of Jalisco, Mexico. A military operation, years in the making, is closing in on its target. Inside a remote cabin complex, surrounded by pine trees and silence, hides a man who hasn't been photographed in over 30 years. A man with a $15 million price on his head. A man who built an empire more powerful than some governments. They call him El Mencho. Before Pablo Escobar, before El Chapo, there was a new breed of cartel leader, one who learned from their mistakes, one who never smiled for the cameras, one who turned shadow into armor. This is the story of Nemesio Oseguera, Cervantesan, how a poor avocado farmer's son became the most feared ghost in the Americas. Aguililla, Michoacan, July 17, 1966. In a region where the earth bleeds poppies and marijuana plants grow wild between the corn, a boy is born into poverty so deep it has roots. His name is Nemesio. His family are avocado farmers, campesinos working land that doesn't belong to them. Young Nemesio drops out of primary school to work the fields. No shoes, no dreams. Just dust and avocados. But the 1980s are coming. And with them, a new industry that will transform this forgotten corner of Mexico into a battlefield: the drug trade. Like thousands of young Mexican men before him, Nemesio crosses illegally into the United States, California, the promised land. But he doesn't go to pick strawberries. San Francisco, 1986. His first arrest: marijuana possession. A slap on the wrist. Deportation. He crosses back. 1989. Arrested again. Deported again. Crosses back again. These aren't failures, they're education. In 1992, Nemesio makes his big mistake, or so it seems: an undercover operation. A heroin deal in a San Francisco bar. This time, the charges stick. 3 years in federal prison. But here's what the DA didn't understand. Prison wasn't Nemesio's end. It was his MBA. 1995. Deported for the final time, Nemesio Oseguera returns to Mexico a changed man. Not reformed, reconstructed. He does something that should be impossible: he joins the police. That's right. The future most wanted drug lord in the Western Hemisphere becomes a cop in Jalisco. But Nemesio isn't fighting crime. He's studying it. He learns how investigations work, who takes bribes, how evidence disappears, the exact pressure points where the system breaks. It's the ultimate inside job. By the late 1990s, Officer Oseguera has a new employer: the Milenio Cartel. The Milenio Cartel is mid-tier, powerful but not famous. They move cocaine and meth through Mexico's Pacific coast, working as a subsidiary of the mighty Sinaloa cartel. Nemesio starts at the bottom. A sicario, a hitman. But he's different from the other trigger pullers. He doesn't waste bullets on showing off. He doesn't drink. He doesn't party. He watches. He waits. He learns. Then comes the marriage that changes everything. Rosalinda Gonzalez Valencia. Her brother is Abigail Gonzalez Valencia, leader of Los Quines, the financial arm of the Milenio operation. Nemesio doesn't just marry a woman. He marries into power. Now he's family. Now he's trusted. Now he can see where all the money flows. 2009. The Mexican drug war is exploding. President Felipe Calderon has declared war on the cartels. The body count is climbing. And in this chaos, opportunities emerge for those cold enough to seize them. The Milenio cartel is collapsing. Its leader, Oscar Orlando Nava Valencia Lobo, is arrested in October 2009. His brother falls 6 months later. The vultures are circling. But Nemesio isn't a vulture. He's a wolf. The cartel splits in two. One faction calls themselves La Resistencia, the resistance. They want traditional leadership. Nemesio creates his own faction, Los Mata Zeta, the Zeta killers. But here's the genius move. Nemesio doesn't just fight them. He brands them. Los Mata Zetas release videos positioning themselves as protectors of the people, vigilantes fighting the brutal Zetas cartel. They promise to end extortion, to protect civilians, to bring order. It's a lie, of course. But it's a beautiful lie. While La Resistencia is fighting a turf war, Nemesio is fighting a propaganda war, and he's winning both. September 20, 2011, 5 p.m., Boca del Rio, Veracruz, a tourist area. Busy highway. 6 vans block traffic. Men in tactical gear step out. They open the cargo doors and dump 35 bodies onto the asphalt. 35. All allegedly Zetas members. A message written in corpses. The world learns a new name. CJNG, Cartel Jalisco Nueva Generation. The Jalisco New Generation Cartel. Here's what made El Mencho different from every cartel boss who came before him. Pablo Escobar wanted to be president. He posed for magazine covers. He built soccer stadiums. El Chapo wanted to be famous. He gave interviews to Sean Penn. He had a beauty queen wife and a Twitter presence. El Mencho wanted to be invisible. In 30 years of running one of the world's largest criminal organizations, only 3 photographs of Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes ever surfaced. All from the early 1990s. All mugshots. No Instagram. No narco corrido celebrating his life. No golden guns. No zoo full of exotic animals. Just silence. But don't mistake silence for weakness. Under El Mencho, the CJN becomes a military force unlike anything Mexico has ever seen. Rocket-propelled grenades. 50 caliber sniper rifles. Military-grade body armor. Armored vehicles they call monsters. They pioneer drone warfare, strapping explosives to commercial drones. They install landmines. They hire former special forces mercenaries from around the world. Russian naval engineers help design submarines for cocaine transport. May 1, 2015. The Mexican military kills a CJNG commander in Jalisco. El Mencho's response? He declares war on the army itself. His gunmen set up narco blockades across 20 cities, burning vehicles, blocking highways, creating chaos. Then they shoot down a Mexican military helicopter with an RPG. 9 soldiers die. The message is clear. Touch us, and we will burn your country down. By 2019, the DS Demetes CJNG controls 1/3 of all drugs entering the United States. Cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, and the new killer, fentanyl. El Mencho's labs are manufacturing synthetic opioids at industrial scale, killing hundreds of thousands of Americans. The organization operates in all 50 U.S. states, in Europe, in Asia. The $15 million reward on El Mencho's head, larger than the bounties on most terrorists, reflects the scale of the threat. June 26, 2020. Mexico City Police Chief Omar Garcia Harfuck is driving through Lomas de Chapulto, one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in the country. 28 CJN gunmen ambush his convoy. Over 100 rounds fired, grenades detonated. 4 minutes of urban warfare in the heart of the capital. Harfuck survives barely. 2 bodyguards and a civilian woman die. The assassination attempt on a top security official, blocks from the presidential residence, sends shockwaves through Mexico. No one is safe. Nowhere is safe. Finding El Mencho becomes an obsession for 2 governments. The Mexican military launches operation after operation. They raid ranches. They intercept communications. They arrest his wife, his children, his lieutenants.
In 2015, Rosalinda Gonzalez Valencia El Mencho's wife is captured. The cartel responds by kidnapping 2 Mexican Navy personnel. The message: release her, or they die. She's released.
February 2020. El Mencho's son, Ruben Oseguera Gonzalez, El Menchito, is extradited to the United States. The cartel's response? They assassinate the judge who signed the extradition order. Shot to death in his home in Colima. Even the judges aren't safe. Intelligence suggests El Mencho is hiding in the mountains of Jalisco. Michoacan, or Nayarit regions he knows like the back of his hand. He's protected by rings of security. Ex-military mercenaries, advanced communications equipment. Local populations either loyal or terrified. He moves constantly. Never sleeps in the same place twice. Uses couriers instead of phones. Stays off all electronic communications. He's a ghost. But ghosts can be found, if you know where to look. February 2025. A breakthrough. An associate of one of El Mencho's romantic partners, even ghost kings have love lives, provides intelligence to Mexican authorities. The information is specific, credible, actionable. El Mencho is in Tapalpa, Jalisco. A mountain town, remote, Defensible. Perfect for a man who doesn't want to be found. But someone talked. Someone always talks. February 20th, 2026. Mexican special forces begin surrounding the area. They move silently. No advance warning. No leaks. February 22nd. Before dawn, the operation launches. Military aircraft, helicopters, hundreds of troops. National Guard backup. The noose tightens. CJNG gunmen open fire as soldiers advance. The battle is fierce. Several cartel members are killed. Weapons seized, rocket launchers, armored vehicles. Enough firepower to start a small war. But Mencho isn't among the dead. He escapes, fleeing with his inner circle into a nearby wooded area, to a cabin complex hidden in the pines. Second firefight. This time they find him. Wounded. Bleeding. The ghost made flesh. 2 bodyguards lie dead beside him. The king's last loyal soldiers. Mencho is airlifted to a medical facility, but his wounds are too severe. He dies en route to Mexico City. Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes. Age 59. The most wanted man in the Americas. The $15 million ghost. Dead. But the story doesn't end with Mencho's death. It begins. Within hours, CJNG operatives launch coordinated attacks across 20 Mexican states. Vehicles set ablaze. Roadblocks erected. Clashes with security forces. At least 25 National Guard members killed in the retaliatory violence. The cartel is wounded, but far from dead. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum addresses the nation, urging calm. But the question hangs in the air. What happens now? Mencho built CJNG to survive him. A decentralized network, a franchise model, multiple lieutenants ready to step up. The king is dead. Long live the kings. From avocado fields to a $15 million bounty. From a San Francisco heroin dealer to the most powerful drug lord in the Western Hemisphere. From a deportee to a cop to a cartel kingpin. Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes understood something that Pablo Escobar and El Chapo never fully grasped. Fame is a prison. The truly powerful are invisible, but even ghosts cast shadows. And the shadow Mencho cast over Mexico and the world will linger long after his death. Thousands dead, communities destroyed, a drug epidemic still raging. It is the legacy of the Ghost King, not gold, not glory, just shadow. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please like, subscribe, and share. The world of cartels is dark, complex, and constantly evolving. If you'd like to see more deep dives into the figures who shape our world, for better or worse, let me know in the comments. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe.